Let's begin our Bible history lesson this morning by singing Psalm 139, All that I am, I owe to thee, verses 1 and 2. All that I am, I owe to thee. Thy wisdom, Lord, has fashioned me. I give my Maker thankful praise, whose wondrous works my soul amaze. Ere into being I was brought, thine I did see, and in thy thought my life in all its perfect plan was ordered ere my days began. And now we're going to practice Psalm 23. And we are up to the very last verse this week. So this week we're going to learn the last verse, and then after Memorial Day, the Friday, the last day of school, the 29th, we are going to try and say all of Psalm 23 together on our Zoom meeting. So be practicing that. But for this week, you have to learn this. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Let's say that again. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Now let's say all of Psalm 23 together. Where do we find this in the Bible? Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Keep practicing that. And now we have our Bible history lesson. And some time has passed since we studied King Solomon in the history of God's Word. And Israel and Judah kingdoms were divided. And in Israel, wicked kings had been ruling. And the people were not following God's way. And our story today starts when a very wicked king and queen were ruling Israel. King Ahab and Queen Jezebel. King Ahab and Queen Jezebel worshipped an idol named Baal, and Ahab even built a temple for Baal. Now, in our story today, you are going to meet the prophet Elijah. All right? So, there were still a few priests of God in Israel, however, but they tried to keep the people from worshiping idols. But Queen Jezebel, she was that heathen princess who had married Ahab. She did not want those priests to teach about God. She tried to kill the good priests. But one of King Ahab's servants, whose name was Obadiah, loved God and would not let the wicked queen kill God's prophets. He hid 100 of God's prophets in a cave, and he brought them food every day to keep them alive. Although King Ahab and his heathen queen were leading Israel farther and farther away from God, God was not forgetting his people. He chose a good man to be his prophet. His name was Elijah. Elijah was a great man. He was one of the greatest prophets that ever lived. One day, God sent Elijah to the king's palace. Elijah was not afraid. He went into King Ahab's palace without being invited. He stood before Ahab as he sat on his throne. Elijah pointed his finger at Ahab and said, "As Jehovah, the God of Israel, lives, before whom I stand, there will be no rain or dew on the earth until I send it." King Ahab glared in anger at this strange man. Who was this man who walked into kings' palaces without being invited, and who could stop the rain by his own word? "Get that man for me," the king commanded. "Bring him to me that I may kill him." But the king's soldiers could not find Elijah. They looked everywhere for him.